Guys, I just seen two of the most interesting videos you're probably going to see online today. What is a woman? I guess we're getting back into that question, and it's getting pretty interesting.
What is a female?
Well, now you're going deep. We want to talk.
That's a really deep subject.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say right now a woman is someone that wants to call themselves a woman.
Okay. But what is that? Like, what are they calling themselves?
I think you'd have to ask each one of them that.
Yeah.
For me, I feel very happily situated in that particular category. And that's actually what I was born and how I raised, and I came up in radical feminism that sort of taught me that I could be whoever I wanted in this category. So I'm happy to be someone that's in it and expanding it. But whoever wants it can have it.
Yeah. What about straight white men? What do you think about when you hear the word straight white man?
Well, generally I think, oh no, watch out, help.
What do you think when you hear straight black man?
I think more power to you, baby. I'm sorry you've had to suffer the way that straight white America has kept you down for so long. And what we, white people, are starting to feel now with our trauma is probably nothing compared to what black men and black women have had to suffer in this country for centuries.
Yeah.
This lady just said that when she hears straight, you notice that the interviewer is asking these questions for a reason. She knows the type of people who are literally out of their noggin. She knows the type of questions to ask them. This lady, good Lord, poor lady, completely brainwashed. She said, what do you think when you hear straight white man? She said, well, initially, oh no, help. What? That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. It's crazy because they're trying to brainwash people to hate straight white men. I don't know if y'all see it, but it's crazy. Especially if you a cop. Oh my goodness. Guys, whoever you are out there trying to categorize all of white men in a box, you're evil. You're evil. And you've been brainwashed and manipulated, and you need help. You need deliverance. Guys, you don't categorize a whole genre of individuals because of what some radicals may be doing. Same thing goes with black men. Listen, there's people out there right now who are racist because of different movies they've seen, because of different documentaries maybe, of different gangbangers in different hoods that happen to be black. And there's different people who categorize all black people in a box. You're evil. It's disgusting. I've went through different things personally in different relationships in the past, where different people I was talking to didn't want me to meet their parents because their parents wouldn't want them with a black individual. But you don't see me out here saying all parents of this race and that race are racist. I would never put everybody in one box. Different people are insane. Different people are out of their doggone mind. They're disgusting and they need deliverance. They've been brainwashed. Different people have. Not everybody. So let's stop putting people in one box because of a couple radicals.
Every day, black people are just really struggling, I feel like.
They've been feeling the fear that we've been, that we're all starting to fear right now. Going out in the streets, you could get shot. I mean, for some people, this is not new.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. It's really scary. You think we're on the verge of Germany?
Well, I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I hope not.
Last time we all thought, well, we're exaggerating and come on, but this time it feels more and more like it, especially, as people are getting disappeared off the streets and as Trump is not responding to what the courts are saying. So so what are our avenues of resistance? What do you think our avenues of resistance are?
I think we need all abortion. I think we need every immigrant, no matter what they've done, to stay in the country because, they came here, so they should be here.
I agree with you. How are we going to fight for that? What is the meaning of the importance of this, do you think?
Well, I think we have a revolution going on.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I will see you in the streets.
Yeah.
I
mean, our free speech is under attack, clearly, but we're still out here. We're still standing up to unhinged bullies. That's what somebody's sign says. Very inspiring, so.
Yes. Well, I've just run into my peeps, but
make sure you get the measles vaccine, too, because that's going around.
Oh, I know. And I'm of that generation where it might not be working from when I was a kid.
Oh.
No. All right, let me talk to my...
All right, have a great day. Somebody had a sign.
Gone.
So what do you think of their signs? Would you like to talk on camera about it?
You know what? I would be happy to talk on camera about it. I am a little confused, mostly because I don't actually know what your side, what the support is.
Okay. Would you like to talk about it?
I would be happy to learn.
Right. So right now in our society, kids who are gender non-conforming, for example, boys who like princess dolls and girls who like trucks, they're encouraged to think about their gender identity and think about whether they might be the opposite sex. And
okay, and you're against that?
Well, they're not the opposite sex. They are the sex that they were born with, and it's not possible to change that.
Oh, it's not possible to change it.
No, it's not.
I don't know. I think I did a good job of that.
You think you changed your sex?
No, I think I changed my gender. I'm making a joke. I get the point you're making. So, if gender is a social construct. Let me feed into the points that I know you're going to make. Go for it. Gender is a social construct.
Okay, so you think you changed the social construct?
No, I think I changed my own positioning within a social construct.
Okay, and how do you think you did that using drugs?
No, I think I did that socially. I think I did use drugs to change my own perception of myself and my physical appearance in a way that we do with a lot of different things. And I think I used my clothing to change myself. But to be fair, I feel like the most important thing I did was the social aspect.
But do you... Okay, I mean, I think it's fine for people to change their clothing and to change their hair. I'm totally cool with that.
Is there a problem with me using a different set of pronouns?
Well, I mean, I think that when you say using, you refer to yourself, I assume, as I.
Sure.
So when you say using different pronouns, you mean you ask people to use a certain other...
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so it's pronouns different from the ones you're born with.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to make that request to people, I think that's fine. I'm not going to get in the way of you telling people that you prefer a certain set of pronouns.
Okay.
I don't think that young children should be encouraged. If a 4 or 5-year-old is it's a boy, but they want to be called a girl. I think that a grown-up should not say, okay, then we'll use the girl pronouns for you. That's where I think maybe you and I have a difference. I don't know. But.
So that's actually really interesting because I have a couple of places where I know a lot about that. I have a cousin right now who's around 6 or 7 and who wears skirts and dresses because he wants to be Princess Elsa because he saw Frozen. And you know what? He can do that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, I'm not going to tell him to consider his gender. At a certain point, I might see signs and I might say, okay, this might be a thing you want to think about. But at a certain extent, he can be a dude wearing a skirt.
Sure.
That is allowed. He can also later decide that he's in fact not a dude and he would like to be a woman. And I respect that just as much because it is, at a certain point, letting children explore things is a great thing. I work in a 4th grade. You know, I can't say that anymore. Don't work in a 4th grade as of yesterday. But those kids, when they want to do something dumb, my first question is, what is the positive and what is the benefit? If I know that they're going to end up not regretting that thing, sometimes I'll let them do it. And if I know that there could be heavy benefit to them because of that, I will definitely weigh that.
But you should lie to him and tell him he can become a woman because he can never become a woman.
No,
never.
he can't.
No, never, never. You cannot
mean-
change sex. Never.
So first off, changing gender is the specific thing because there is a difference between gender and sex.
But a woman is a biological reality. We're born that way.
I'm going to cut to the chase because for me, it's not about whether someone's calling them a certain thing. I'm all in favor of gender nonconformity and like kind of messing with people's perceptions. That's fine. My problem is with the drugs.
Your problem is with the drugs?
Because they cause side effects that are really serious that last for the rest of your life and
I
that
sure
people are
hope
not
so.
worried about.
Yeah,
Puberty
I hope
blockers, estrogen,
Okay, first off,
testosterone.
puberty blockers are actually sometimes called the pause button because they are incredibly reversible. That is a very important thing to put out there.
No, they're
right?
being sued for fraud for saying that they're reversible right now.
And yet, there are also many cases of people taking them and getting off of them.
No, there
and
isn't.
having those-
It's very rare that they get off of them. Very rare.
Did you know?
It is rare that they get off of them because it is a long enough process to the point where people who get to that system have a tendency to stay on them.
Yeah,
because
which
of
means
something.
they're not reversible because they're staying on them and then going to cross-sex hormones.
That's
This is crazy. You know why? Because you have individuals who know the truth, and then you have an individual who has been engrafted with lies to the point where they think that's the truth. So now you have two people who believe they have the truth trying to tell the truth to the other person they believe has a lie. That's tough. That's like a Christian and Muslim debate.
because that's what those people want.
No, it's because
That's saying they're not
getting locked
reversible
in.
because I chose not to reverse
It's
it.
because they're locked into the process
But
by people who are lying to them and telling them they can change sex.
I was told that my hormones that I take were irreversible, that they would never change. And you know what I did? I thank fucking God. I want those changes
but
to
you
be
still
permanent.
Wait, I thought you said you only transitioned socially.
No, I definitely on hormones. I've
Oh,
been for a
okay.
while.
Okay.
No,
But
I
you-
said that the social part was, in my opinion, the most important part.
But I think I agree with you. That does have an important psychological effect on you when you socially transition.
Can I ask you? Can I point out something?
Yeah.
Those drugs save lives.
That has never been shown by a study. In
You
fact,
know what? Let me give you something else. First off, I would argue that I don't have a study to pull at my fingertips, so I'm going to take that as fact, but I'm going to doubt it. The other thing I'm going to point out is that the ability to allow people to feel better vastly improves quality of life. I'm going to tell my own story for a minute.
But I ID'd you right away as a man, right when you walked up. You were born male.
Yeah, do you know how you did it?
No, I didn't see that. I just saw it. It's all over your face. You're never going to be able to change sex.
I just spent
It's in your voice.
I just spent an entire school year in a 4th grade classroom, and they didn't figure out I was a trans woman. Let me tell you this: you have that confidence, you're wrong. My voice is at this point going down because I've been using it a lot. If I wanted to, I could bring it higher. I could do a lot of things. I am choosing
I'm
to be
sorry
visible as
people lied
trans.
to you. I'm sorry people lied to you.
Honey, nobody lied to me. I knew what I was going into. I knew the decisions I was making. I did my research. I looked at what other trans people had gone through, and I realized this is going to fundamentally make my life better. Do you know what my mom pointed out to me? I went from being barely a human, a robot moving through his life.
Probably because you're autistic. Are you autistic?
I actually am, and you know what?
They should have helped you with that before they put you on this path.
So, actually, I don't need help with the autism. The autism is actually kind of an unrelated thing. I would argue that the connection between trans and autism is because sometimes you have to think out of the box to realize that you don't fit in the box.
No, the problem is that they're targeting autistic kids and saying your life would be so much better if you went down this path, when they really just need to have their mental health treated. This is not going to end well.
It's not a lie if they were right. My life was better going down that path. My life got so much better. It seemed like I came to life.
Boy, oh boy. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And to think you'd get in trouble for saying this was off about 2 years ago. You know how many pages I have blocked? I'm sorry, not blocked. I had banned for bringing up this situation, saying, yeah, this is off. My goodness. That's where we're at. Not everyone. I believe it's getting better now too, especially since the law was passed that there's only 2 genders. You had different people losing their mind because of that truth. Boy, oh boy. Sad to see. But may the Lord even touch them. Amen. A supernatural touching, Father. Like, they need it. They need it. Let me know what you guys think about the video. God bless. Shalom.